What it do, homies? It's your boy Dave, and I'm back today. We out here with some more Metallica. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. This has been a very, very interesting journey. Coming from somebody who listens to a whole lot of hip hop, and I mean a whole lot of hip hop, and a lot of R&B, to discover this type of music, the metal and the hard rock genre, is almost been kind of very enlightening for me. Like I said, I'm pretty much out of practice when it comes to playing instruments, playing my saxophones and all, but the music is still there. Like the music theory, the music knowledge is still there. So to be able to apply it to the Metallica and this type of music is very, very refreshing. It's like I'm discovering jazz all over again. Now, jazz don't ever end, just like rock doesn't ever end. You're always going to be learning something new, but this is completely new. You know what I mean? It's like diving into a cake for the first time and discovering that you liking it, and like, oh snaps, how else can I what else can I mix in here to make it taste a lot better? That's what we're doing right now. We diving into a cake that's called Metallica. I tasted it for the first time with one, and now we just throwing in some more ingredients to discover what else is making it so great. And it's been very, very enjoyable. Now, I've been talking for too long. It's time to shut up and turn it up. Let's go. Woo! Seven. Woo! Slow them drums down. Yeah. They're gonna switch it up on the boy. Oh no! Before we go into this, I'm gonna tell y'all, staccatos, when you play the instrument and you play it with such an abrupt, really helps drive the intensity of this. And that's the first thing that I heard when it came out of, man. That's why it just pretty much commanded my attention. That's the purpose. That's how you use that. You just bring the attention right away through, and they just start going in there, just start jamming with the switch ups. Oh man, come on now. We just beginning. I ain't even heard nothing yet. You already killing me. You're killing me right now, okay? All right, lyric time.
Dear mother, dear father, what is this hell you have put me through? Believer, deceiver, day in, day out, live my life through you. Push down on me what's wrong or right. Hidden from this thing that they call life.
Wow.
Dear mother, dear father, every thought I think you disapprove. You're a dictator. Always censoring my every move. Children of sin that are not heard. Tear out everything inspired.
Wow. They just killing it right now.
Innocence torn from me without your shelter. But reality, I'm living blindly. Dear mother, dear father, time has frozen still. What's left to be here? Nothing, say nothing. Cannot face the facts I think for me. No guarantee it's life as is. Damn you for not giving me my chance.
Yeah. Hold on now, okay? I gotta give some commentary. All right, too much been going on through. All right, so the lyrics for this is pretty straightforward from my understanding, and it almost sounds as though this is coming from a personal experience. These lyrics, however, what I'm thinking what's going on is pretty much this is told from more than likely his point of view, where pretty much been sheltered, right? And then he either decided to leave, or they kicked him out because he was tired of living this type of life and felt like there's more left. But now that he's out into the world, probably gonna see some things as it not really is. That's what I'm guessing. What's interesting about this is that I think most of us, or at least some of us, kind of came with this type of upbringing where our parents are, probably not most of us, but some of us, like I said, either had some strict religious upbringings or was taught religion, but not really like super strict. Like you would go to church one day and then the next day your parents be smoking marijuana. You know what I mean? They kind of just try to keep some type of stability. But for those who are strict, and I got a couple of friends that are like that, that were like 100% strictly religious, and so religious that they don't know how to function outside of the world. You really see this happening, especially in a college experience, right? Because I went to college, good old K-State, baby, Emo. When I went down to K-State, I noticed a couple of them, some of them couldn't even function because they didn't understand what was going on because they were sheltered between this type of life. That's what's crazy. That was crazy. I'm a believer of always remaining optimistic, right? I don't like to let people think for me. I like to hear this side and that side and bring everything close together and then make the decision on where I want to go based on my own. I feel like that's the type of life that you need to live, and that's how I'm going to raise my son to be optimistic. But because I know what it's like to be strictly one way and then have your child go out. Well, I don't know yet, but I imagine, having your child go out, from experience, I've seen people like that and absolutely have no idea what the world is like. And therefore, all the work that you've done to pretty much accumulate them and build them up is about to be torn down in a year's worth because they were not exposed to the real life, the real world, right? The real world. All right. Okay. That's all. I just want to talk about that.
Dear mother, dear father, my wings before I learned to fly, unspoiled, unspoken. I've outgrown that fucking lullaby. Same thing I've always heard from you. Do as I say, not as I do. Innocence torn from me without your shelter. But reality, I'm living blindly.
Ooh, boy, they're rocking it. Wow. Okay, hold on. Before we go there, what was the name of the guitarist? Kirk. I can't remember his name. Wow, what a freaking solo. Okay, he just freaking came out of nowhere, just blasted right up there. It almost kind of reminded me of like a zipper, right? Where zippers go like zip. That's what it almost sounded like. It was like you just start taking off. Now, what's cool about this is right when I thought the solo was over. Right? What are we calling the solos these days? The guitar lows, right? When you do a solo with the guitar. Right when I thought the guitar low was over, they kind of put a break there. Just and then you start running, just taking off. What's interesting about that as well is that I always like to look at songs in a matter of storytelling. So he's talking about he's talking about all these things that's going on, type of sheltered life he's been living, and now he's out in the world and some things are happening. It's almost as if during that whole entire guitar solo, imagine if this was a video, he's just going out getting drunk and everything he's never experienced this, can't make sense of the world, he's doing the drugs and everything. Imagine he was doing a drug and then going through all kinds of messed up things, and then all of a sudden, you know, right in the middle of the guitar solo, when when they stop, you know, the brickwork, like he goes back into it. Imagine that second part of that guitar solo, he's just freaking taking another drug and just going back crazy, right? Just breaking stuff. Now he's in trouble with the law and everything. That's what I like to think of, right? Because like I said, there's a climax to every one of these songs. There's always a climax, right? There's always a beginning and a middle and an end. I know some songs got a beginning and end. Psych, this is still the beginning, middle, end. But that's how I always like to think of these things. And that's what that solo reminds me of. So let's get back into it.
I'm in hell without you. Can I cope without you too? Shocked at the world that I see. Innocent victim, please rescue me. Dear mother, hidden in your world you made for me. I'm sitting, I'm bleeding, ripping wounds in me that never heal. Undying spot I feel for you. Living out this hell you always knew.
Okay, all right. You that grunt almost sounded like a grunt of I'm finished with this business. I wash my hands of this. So one pretty cool thing he said when he said living in the world, what was that last part? Living out this hell you always knew. That's what's really messed up. Like, you knew what the world is capable of. Like, why would you want to shelter your child? I mean, you know, I can't question anybody's parental abilities. Everybody does things because of their own way. But that is just that line right there, living out this hell you always knew. You knew what the person was about to experience. And as a matter of fact, actually, maybe you don't know. Like, people, you know, you being a kid is different from what your child's going to be a kid. They're going to experience different things. And then, but there are some stable things, some staples things in the world that kids are always going to experience no matter what the times are, like bullying and exclusion and stuff like that. And those things are pretty much probably being worse now with the technology and stuff that's been available to us. Now imagine if you lived this type of sheltered life, right? And then you went off to, and you either decided to leave or you shifted off to college or anything like that. And then you heard this song. Like, what kind of mindset does that put you in? That's crazy, ain't it? Man, I'm telling you, man, I like this song. I like it big time, man. Like I was telling you earlier, I've always remained optimistic. I grew up religious, strictly on my dad's side. Like, my dad, we always go to church and everything. He never drunk. We're listening to gospel music and all that. But then I go home, and when this is where our primary went to school, I would go home and I would live with my mother. Now, my mother, she was religious as well, but not as religious as my dad. So I got to see that other side of the world. Like, I've been bullied. I've actually been jumped before. And the schools that I went to weren't exactly the best, right? Because I kind of grew up in the ghetto. So luckily for me, I got to see both sides. I got to see the strictly religious side and the not so strictly religious side. And I think that upbringing of me is what made me optimistic. You know what I mean? So I seen both sides. I was able to pick and choose which one I wanted to go, but it made me better prepared for the world. Now, with this song in mind, it doesn't seem like if he's speaking from his personal experience, he didn't get that type of luxury. He pretty much got cast into the world without any type of preparation, and that sucks. That sucks big time. And I understand how much it sucks because I almost was there. Almost. But I had that optimistic thinking. All right, y'all. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and subscribe. Dave's out.